My dog used to do this every single morning. I'd walk into the kitchen half asleep, no shoes on, probably hadn't washed my face yet, and she'd just stretch. Full body. Front paws sliding forward on the tile, chest dropping low, rear end up, spine pulling long. And then she'd look at me. Just hold that position and look. No barking, no spinning, no jumping on my legs demanding breakfast. Just that slow, deliberate stretch, aimed directly at me, with eye contact. I thought she was waking up. Dogs stretch when they wake up. That's just a body thing, right? Muscles, joints, whatever. I filed it away and made my coffee. Except she hadn't been sleeping. She'd been sitting by the door, waiting. That one detail bothered me enough to actually look into it, and what I found was one of those things that changes how you see an animal you thought you already fully understood. There's a name for what your dog is doing. Animal behaviorists call it a greeting stretch, or sometimes a salutation stretch. It's not the same as a play bow. They look similar from a distance, but the energy is completely different. A play bow is fast and bouncy, front end drops, tails wagging hard. It's invitation energy. Come chase me. The greeting stretch is slower, almost ceremonial. And it happens specifically when a dog sees someone they're bonded with, usually paired with direct eye contact. That last part is the thing. Dogs don't really do this to strangers. They don't do it to the delivery guy or your cousin who visits twice a year. They do it to you, the person they actually care about. If your dog stretches when you walk in after work and you always assumed it was just coincidence or restlessness, it wasn't. You were the audience. You were always the point. The reason researchers think it's communicative rather than just physical is consistency. If this were pure muscle reflex, joints loosening, spine decompressing, dogs would stretch at the wall, at the food bowl, at nothing in particular. But the greeting stretch is directional. They orient toward you. They make eye contact. Some dogs will hold the position for a moment before coming over, like they're waiting for something. That's not how your body behaves when it's just stretching. That's social behavior. I'll be honest, I find the oxytocin angle slightly exhausting at this point. Researchers attach oxytocin to literally everything now. But in this case, the evidence is actually solid. When a dog makes sustained eye contact with someone they trust, both the dog and the human experience a measurable spike in oxytocin. Same hormone, same bonding feedback loop that exists between parents and infants. The greeting stretch almost always comes with that eye contact, which means your dog may be triggering a bonding response in you, deliberately or not. Whether they understand that, I genuinely don't know. Nobody does. But I find it hard to keep calling it accidental. I spoke with a trainer once. A guy named Haroon had been working with dogs out of Rawalpindi for something like 25 years. One of those people who barely needs to say anything around animals. They just go quiet. And he told me something I haven't been able to shake. He said dogs don't waste gestures. If a dog does something in your direction, it decided to do that. It's not performing randomly. The stretch isn't something that just happened to be aimed at you. He said it like it was the most obvious thing in the world, which maybe it is. There's one more layer that most videos skip entirely, probably because it sounds like a stretch, no pun intended. But bear with me. The greeting stretch is also a vulnerability display. When a dog drops their chest low and extends their front legs forward, that's an anatomically exposed position. Throat accessible, chest open, belly toward the floor. In a wild context, canines don't do that casually. The posture signals the opposite of threat readiness. It signals comfort. It signals, I'm not worried about what you'll do to me. Your dog is showing you their soft parts. Not because they forgot where they were or got confused, because you're the person that made that feel okay. Some dogs will roll it into a full flop, stretch leads directly into a rollover, paws in the air. Others will stretch and immediately lean into your legs or nudge your hand. Some just stretch, look at you once, and walk away like nothing happened. The form varies. The meaning underneath it doesn't change much. One thing worth mentioning, because I'd feel irresponsible leaving it out, excessive stretching that happens outside the greeting context, random throughout the day with a hunched back, visible discomfort like the dog is trying to relieve something, that's different. That can indicate abdominal pain. Pancreatitis sometimes presents this way, bloat in larger breeds. If your dog started stretching constantly and it feels wrong, disconnected from any social moment, That's a vet conversation you should actually have. Most of the time, though, it's not that. Most of the time, your dog is just glad you came home. What I keep coming back to, the thing I find genuinely difficult to explain away, is the gap this gesture crosses. Humans have somewhere around 43 muscles in our face alone. We have language. We have tone of voice, body language, writing, 1,000 years of symbolic communication. We have 100 ways to say I missed you without saying a single word. Dogs have a tail, a posture, a sound, and a stretch. That's basically the whole toolkit. And yet, across thousands of years of living alongside us, sleeping in our homes, watching how we move, learning what we respond to, they figured out that this one specific gesture, aimed at you, in the moment you walk in, does something. You feel it before you understand it. Something in your nervous system registers it as significant even if you'd never thought about what it meant. My dog did it every morning for years before I understood what it was. I always felt it, even then. I used to think it was just a nice way to start the day. It was. It still is. I just know now that she was the one making it nice, with the only thing she had. There's something uncomfortable about that if you sit with it long enough. You've been on the receiving end of genuine affection, communicated through the only channel available, and most of the time you just walked past it to make coffee. Not because you didn't care, because you didn't know what you were looking at. Which makes me wonder how much of that is true in general. How much is being offered to us in whatever limited language something else has, and we just don't have the vocabulary to catch it. I don't know what my dog thought I understood. Probably nothing. Probably she just did it because it felt right. Because something in 10,000 years of domestication wired her to reach toward me in that moment, and she had no language for what it meant any more than I did. But every morning she did it anyway, without knowing if it landed, without needing confirmation. That kind of thing used to seem simple to me. It doesn't anymore.